This is the 9.7-inch Samsung Galaxy Tab S2, the successor to the high-end flagship tablet from Samsung, the original Galaxy Tab S, which we saw last year. The 9.7-inch Tab S2 features a build construction somewhere between last year's Samsung devices and this year's Samsung devices. I say that because we have a very premium metallic frame that wraps around the entire device, but on the back of the device, we have a soft touch plastic. Now, I really do enjoy this soft touch plastic. It is an absolute fingerprint and smudge magnet, but it does offer more grip than if the back were made of aluminum. And it doesn't add a considerable amount of weight to the device like aluminum. Does that mean I wouldn't want to see a complete aluminum unibody design in the next tab? Well, not necessarily, but the 389 gram weight and the 5.6 millimeter thickness is very beneficial for such an otherwise wielding device. A neat feature of the Tab S2 is the micro SD card slot, which is located on the right-hand side of the device. It's very nice to see here, and even though the back cover is non-removable and there is a metallic frame around the entire device, it's nice to see the micro SD card slot is still very much here. My absolute favorite feature of this tablet is the 9.7-inch Super AMOLED 2048 by 1536 resolution display. It is fantastic. It's great to see on the original Tab S, and it's great to see here carried over on the Tab S2. While it does feature a 264 pixel per inch index, which isn't quite as high as I would have liked to have seen, the color vibrancy of the AMOLED display technology makes up for it hands down. Now, some of you might want to use this tablet to watch movies, YouTube videos, but you might be concerned with the 4:3 aspect ratio. But with the AMOLED display, the black bars that typically appear above and below a video that is being played on a device with a 4:3 aspect ratio, well, you don't really notice those bars too much. They basically just become bezel. Since none of the pixels are really being lit up, they kind of just disappear. Netflix will actually be able to stretch the video you are viewing to fit the entire display, which is kind of neat. The thing that really hinders the experience, I think, is actually more with the speakers and not so much the display, but I'll talk about the speakers more later on the video. In terms of power, the Tab S2 may not feature the top-of-the-line specs we see in flagship smartphones today, but that doesn't mean it's not fast. It actually features a Samsung Exynos 5433 octa-core processor and 3GB of RAM, just like the Note 4, but it's incredibly fast, and it rivals the Galaxy S6 in terms of speed. Touchwiz runs on top of Android 5.1 Lollipop, and it offers a much better tablet experience than stock Android Lollipop. Why? It's because you can multitask like a boss on this tablet. You can run 2 apps at once and change how much screen real estate an app takes up. Not every app works with multitasking, but a majority of popular apps like Facebook, Phoenix, Reddit is Fun, they all allow multitasking. Google, I would really love for you to update Drive to work with the Touchwiz multitasking feature. That would be much appreciated. Now, I did run the Google Now launcher for some time on this tablet, but I found myself switching back to the Touchwiz launcher because I don't use Google Now as much on a tablet. It's that simple. And I did enjoy having Flipboard located to the left of my home screens. I thought that was actually a beneficial feature. Overall, I think the Touchwiz launcher actually appears to run more fluidly than the Google Now launcher, which is surprising. The Tab S2 also does feature a fingerprint scanner. It's the same sensor found in the Galaxy S6 and the Note 5, and it works great. For such a large device, it is pretty awkward to use. You have to stretch your fingertips all the way down to the home button, but I'm really glad it's here. Now, the 9.7-inch Tab S2 features an 8-megapixel camera sensor. If some of your apps require a camera sensor, maybe you are addicted to Snapchat, then by all means, the 8-megapixel camera sensor on this device should be able to get the job done. But if you plan on using this camera sensor or a tablet in general for photography purposes, well, you probably shouldn't. The camera sensor in your smartphone will most likely be able to produce better results. The photos you see here were captured from the Tab S2, so let me know what you think, and if you're serious about taking photos with this tablet, well, here you go. One feature that I would have liked to have seen carried over from the Galaxy S6 and the Note 5 is the double press of the home button to open up the camera app. I'm not really sure why it's not enabled by default. It seems a bit inconsistent with the other Touchwiz devices. As far as battery life goes, battery life is always an important issue to mention on any tech device. Since the Tab S2 features a very thin 5.6mm thick profile, the battery can only be so big. It's a 5870mAh battery that is able to deliver around 6.5 hours of video playback and web browsing screen on time. If you're simply browsing the web and performing light tasks, you should be able to squeeze out about 7.5 hours or so Standby time is pretty solid. I was able to leave this tablet on overnight and only lose a few percentage points of battery. It does feature quick charging technology, so I can recharge this tablet quicker than, say, the Nexus 9, which does make up for its below average battery life. The one feature of this tablet that is nearly a deal breaker for me is the fact that it does not have front-facing speakers. The speakers face downwards as they're located on the bottom of the device. They're not very loud, and the quality of sound isn't anything special at all. If you plan on using this tablet to watch a lot of movies, I don't feel comfortable recommending this tablet simply because you'll end up covering the speakers with your hand. Unless you're watching with headphones, it does not offer a very pleasing experience when watching movies or YouTube videos. There's really no reason in my mind that this tablet shouldn't have front-facing stereo speakers. They are a necessity. So overall, the Galaxy Tab S2 has surprised me in a lot of ways. Starting at about $500 for the 32GB Wi-Fi variant, the 9.7-inch Tab S2 features a relatively thin and lightweight profile with microSD card support, a beautiful display, and a blazing fast processor. While the battery life isn't the best, the quick charging tech does make up for it. If you plan on watching a ton of videos on this tablet, you might want to look at something like the Nexus 9, which features front-facing stereo speakers, because the speakers on the Tab S2 are horribly placed. But if you watch the occasional YouTube video and you browse the web, play games, and read a lot of news, the 9.7-inch Tab S2 will be a great option for you. With that said, I'm Beau HD from PhoneDog.com. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know down below in the comments, and I'll do my best to get back to you. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.